So, first, I just invite everyone to get comfortable. You can lie down if you'd like, or sit and just get into your sacred space. Take a nice deep inhale in. As you exhale, allow your body to fall into relaxation. One more deep inhale in. As you exhale, allow your mind and your thoughts to let go. And one last deep inhale in, continuing your breathing. We're going to start with a short opening prayer. As we sit here tonight, we call upon the sacred light of Source, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We call upon our spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, light beings, and galactic guides. We call upon our ancestors, nature spirits, and animal guides. We call upon Archangel Michael, Naisinga, and Hanuman, as well as the energy of Phi and the spider, to weave a web of sacred geometry around our space for protection. We invite in Ganesh to open the path, and we invite in Thoth, the keeper of wisdom and time, to open the gates to the Akashic records so that we may download knowledge and wisdom. Spirit guides, as we sit here tonight, we call forth the divine feminine and the energy of the full moon and this beautiful flower moon that we are here under tonight. We ask to connect with the divine feminine, to release what no longer serves us, and to bring in anything that we are meant to receive in this moment. We allow ourselves to be embraced by the womb of the mother and guided towards our healing and our highest self. Please bring us any messages you would like us to know in the moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, the sacred circle is now open. Namaste.
So tonight we're going to hold space to honor the flower moon. And this time of the year, this moon is called the flowering moon because it's a time to sort of embrace and welcome in the blossoming of new life, both literally through the abundance of flowers that we see in May. There's so much blooming this month, but also figuratively through holding space for our personal development in really thinking about the way a flower blooms at this time of year. But something I've really noticed this season is that with the flowers, there's early spring flowers, and those are the ones that have just died right now, and those are the ones that are in the process of dying. And the true sort of heart of spring flowers are blossoming right now. So we're going to do a ritual tonight that's connected to releasing what no longer nourishes you and to welcome in what's aligned with this time of the month. And this moon is a time of blossoming, clarity, and soulful unfolding. So it's a time to support letting go of what no longer nourishes your blooming. Um, so the sort of theme of this ritual is that this mantra we're going to use is that I release what blocks my blossoming. So that's what you're going to want to hold in your space right now. You can say it to yourself, whether out loud or in your head. I release what blocks my blossoming. So right now we're going to want to take a moment to just center ourselves and take 3 deep, slow breaths and just allow yourself to feel the earth beneath you, the floor beneath you, the moon above you, and the heart between the two. Your heart is where the blossoming happens. Your heart is your blossoming flower right now. Grandmother Moon, radiant and full, illuminate what I'm ready to release. Show me what no longer serves my blossoming. I'm ready to let go with love. And take a moment and let the emotion or memory or thought rise to you. What is it that you're ready to let go of? What no longer serves your blossoming? Don't force an answer, just take a moment to listen. And place a hand on your heart and allow yourself to visualize what you're releasing. It can be petals falling from your body, petals falling from your heart. Maybe it's mist or smoke blowing away. Maybe you see the actual thing you want to let go of or release leaving you. And take a deep inhale through your nose and just feel your body fill with light. And as you exhale through the mouth, imagine the energy releasing, leaving your body, dissolving into the moonlight, falling away like petals, like the smoke or wind. And just think to yourself, say out loud, I let go, I let go, I let go. As I release, I make room for my blooming. I honor what has passed. I welcome what is growing. May I trust in the unfolding of my path. May I trust in the unfolding of my path. May I trust in the unfolding of my path. This is a time to trust in what's falling away and to trust in what's growing, blooming, and blossoming for you. Imagine a flower in your heart growing, the petals opening up, ready to receive. And say to yourself, it is done, it is done, it is done. I am free, I am blooming, I am whole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now that we've released and we've held space to begin the blooming and blossoming process, we're ready to go a little deeper and ready to more deeply activate.
Thank you, Dana. So now we're going to take a moment and I would like you to take your hands and place them over your womb. This is your sacral chakra. This is the space of creativity, birth, and the home of the mother. So just take a moment, placing your hands on your womb, closing your eyes, and really feeling that space and connecting with her there. With your eyes closed, take a deep breath into your womb, into your heart. Allow yourself to be bathed in the silver light of the full moon. Imagine her light pouring over your crown chakra at the top of your head, coming down into your third eye, into your throat, trickling down into your heart space, into your sacral chakra, your womb, and all the way down your leg, deep into the earth. Feel the moon as a mother, as a guide, as a mirror. Let her light show you what you are ready to release, what no longer serves your highest feminine expression. With every exhale, surrender what is heavy, and with every inhale, draw in the divine essence of the feminine, soft yet strong, intuitive yet empowered, sensual and wise. You are the moon, you are the tides, and you are the sacred vessel. Rest here in your womb space. Listen to the guidance of the feminine within and allow yourself to receive her wisdom. And with this activation, we hand it over to Spirit, to the Divine Feminine, to step forward and share her wisdom with us. From this moment on, I open the space for the Divine Feminine to come in and guide us. We open the circle, and whenever ready, we can share the messages from the Mother. Thank you. Something I wanted to share. I was receiving some messages as Dana was doing her ritual, and I could see like all these petals flowing down from my body, and um I was also seeing like this mother figure inside my chest. And I know it's going to sound funny, but there's that emoji of the woman blowing like the breath, like the wind spirit. And that's kind of how she showed herself, is that emoji. And she was blowing out um, things that no longer served me from my heart. And then as I was seeing like the petals fall, I saw a tree, but it wasn't quite the stump of the tree. It was like, it was a little bit higher, but the tree, I don't know if it looked like it had broken in half or something, like from a storm. And I tumbled down to the base of the tree on the earth. And then I saw my spirit guides come and like put a rope around the tree, and they pulled it up, and they uprooted the tree. Um and then I saw them lift it into the sky, and it was transmuted into golden light. Um, and I also, it's a little bit personal, but I also saw like something spirit when Dana was like asking us what we needed to let go of. I saw this scene of like recently in the past like few months, my mother and I were fighting really bad, and I saw that when Dana said like ask spirit what you need to release, and that's what I saw. I just saw her like screaming. um so I know I'm here to release that tonight, but I just wanted to share that for now. That's all. Thank you.
I'm seeing a bunch of like green moss, and I can see ferns, like ferns that are growing low to the ground, and everything is sort of the perspective that I'm literally on the ground of the earth and I'm looking up. So the moss kind of feels more like little hills. So it's not quite like a bug's perspective, but it's like being really low. Um, and I had to really like sit with it for a moment to figure out like what's going on. But there's a sense of movement to this. So I feel like I'm moving through this sort of area in a forest or woods where there's moss and ferns and logs. But then I come to a point where I see a statue and I'm at a statue's feet. I can see the sort of long toes and bottom of the robes of a statue. Um, and I feel the energy of a very, very green snake. Um, so I feel like I'm seeing something through the eyes and the perspective of a snake. And I can almost feel the sense of movement and sort of get that feeling of if you ever touch moss between your fingers, if you ever sort of run your fingers over moss, how it feels. I did this on Sunday when I was out in the woods. There was a bunch of moss and I was feeling it. And I could just feel that feeling again. And I felt it on my fingers, but then I felt that feeling sort of go over my entire body. And I could sort of feel the feeling of going over the moss and the sort of dirt and the twigs and the log, and I just felt really, I don't know, like really sensatory. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I really just felt really, like a heightened sense of feeling on my skin and my body. Almost like a feeling of maybe being alive and present, but in a really grounded way. And I just feel like I kind of gave pause at the base of the statue. And as Jacqueline was talking about, sharing her experiences, all of a sudden I got the feeling of if you've ever been under like a cherry blossom tree or a dogwood tree when the wind blows and all the little petals come down, I could kind of like feel that. I could feel the petals, sort of see the petals and feel them falling to the ground and almost like again aware of the texture, like the silkiness of the petals, the softness of them, but also how they were beginning to sort of wilt and crunch around the edges. So a really interesting sort of experience. It's very heavy on the feeling of it and the seeing of it. There's not per se a message there. But that's all for now. I'm gonna kind of sit with it and see what else I get.
Um, oh, when Dana was asking about like to see like what we were releasing, I have no idea. Um, what is it that I'm releasing? But I saw like a lot of like smoke and I would say like almost like firecracker like noises like coming down. myself in my heart. Like it was like a lot of like explosions, like firecrackers, and then like a lot of smoke. Um, I'm feel like really uncomfortable, like in my body. Like I feel like I don't know if I should sit down or lay down or like it feels hot, like it feels heavy, like I just feel a lot of like physical things, and it just feels like really uncomfortable. Um, and that's all for now.
As you were sharing that, Angela, with the feeling of the firecrackers and, sort of the discomfort, I was seeing, I could like hear firecrackers. I could also hear the sound of, like, how sometimes when you hear sound in a metal, they sort of echo and they get louder. And I could see, I felt like maybe it was the back of a farmhouse or something like that. There's a bunch of kids running around, and then I saw a little boy in shorts, and this felt very like very early firecracker kind of energy. And I don't know what happened, but the sound of the fireworks, I could see him put his hands over his ears, and um I could almost see him like in this sort of like metal box, or he curled under something metal to escape the sound of the firecrackers, but it kind of amplified them. I don't know if this is past life, or is this just like symbolic of some energy that's getting stirred up right now for you, or um but he's really pale little boy with really, really yellow hair, like the kind of like yellow hair that looks like straw or something. It's just really, really pale. He has freckles across his chin and his nose, and he's just really like wildly traumatized by this firework experience. And even though he's a little boy, it doesn't feel like he's afraid of fireworks. It feels like it feels like he's remembering something, or having some sort of like PTSD type of situation going on with the fireworks. I can't really get at what that is, but I feel his energy like around you. That's all for now.
I want to go off of what you said, Dana, really quickly. And I'm not seeing so much, but I'm seeing I'm seeing the fireworks, and then I'm seeing this man kind of crouched down in this dark alleyway, and he's like crouching in between like these boxes or something. And um for me, I'm seeing him, even though he's crouched down, I can tell he's pretty tall. And well, this is what I'm seeing of him anyway, but he feels tall and very thin, um with kind of blonde hair that's a little not long, but like down to his cheekbones. And he has like this trench coat on, and he's like pulling the trench coat like tightly, and he's crouched down in between these boxes. And these men are coming, and um one of them, their leader or whoever, um has a gun to his head, and the guy is just panicking. um And I don't know if maybe this is something that is agitating him, like with the fireworks as well and the gun connection. Um, I don't know. That's all I'm getting for now. I'm just gonna sit with it, but that's what I was seeing when you were talking about the fireworks.
I'm feeling sort of I can see the scene I talked about with the little boy, and I can feel the energy of the man as well. And I don't know why they feel like two sides to the same coin somehow. Um, but I'm seeing almost the sort of boxed metal area where the little boy is, and I'm seeing this sort of really beautiful, divine sort of golden light that like vaguely has the shape of a woman, but there's this long, flowing, beautiful, thick black hair that comes down, and it's really long hair. It probably comes down like almost to her butt, but it's really full and going out. It's like, but it's like within within her hair is, even though it's dark black hair, it also kind of like looks like the way you look at the cosmos in the night sky. So her hair had kind of like stars and Cosmo feeling to it. And then as I'm looking at her hair and I'm seeing the outline of her body, I can start to see her face and her arms, but she kind of trails off into light, like once you get below the waist. But she has very dark, beautiful black skin, but it's the same as the hair where it's like shining with like almost like looking at the night sky. So it's like if you stop looking at her as a whole and you zoom in on her hair or part of her skin, then it's just like you're looking at the night sky. I've never seen something like this, and I see her much more clearly than I usually see beings like this. And her eyes are also made of light, and she has like a sort of round white circle. I guess it kind of looks like a full moon over her heart, but it's whiter than the moon would be, and she's pointing at it. So I feel like she's stepping forward, Angela, for you connected to this situation and the feelings that you're feeling right now. And I feel like what she wants to say to you is about the energy that you're feeling and experiencing right now connected to the fireworks. Um, how you feel very like present with it and very sort of she wants to talk to you about your own presence and the gift of your presence for other people. Um, and I feel like what she wants to say to you is like I feel like she wants to say that now's the time to show up in like you've always showing up in big ways for people, but now's the time to like show up like you're not quite ever showing up before, and that almost to get present with your presence. I don't know how else to say that. I guess like getting present with your immense ability to hold space for people, um, and to like the leaning into that feels like all of a sudden, like boom, it's like an explosion of light. Like the night sky feels like it's like very full with a lot of light, and um it's almost like all of the feeling you're feeling connected with the firework is soothed, and it's like you're like something about you holding that space you're feeling now for other people as a gift for the shift for yourself and them. Um, and she feels very familiar. Have you? I don't know if you've seen her or you know who she is, but she feels very familiar to your essence and your spirit. And I do think she's a guide of some capacity, but like in a like ascendant master sort of way, or in a sort of like a higher vibrational guide, and maybe possibly connect it with extraterrestrial origins. But I feel like she comes down to earth. But there's something too about the energy of like firecrackers, like she might kind of come in with that kind of energy, but then that's like not really the essence of her energy. Um, but that's all for now. I'm gonna see if I can kind of feel out a little more of what she's saying.
While you guys were sharing, I just felt like my heart like just beating like really fast, and um I was seeing this like field of lavender, and I just see like the wind like blowing like all this lavender, and I was asking myself like, how do you know like that this is lavender? And then all of a sudden like I smell the lavender, like it was, and I just heard like this laugh, like just this fun laugh, and this invitation like just to, like just touch the lavender trees, the flowers, just to like feel the wind like in my hands, and just like to see like how far like I could go, like if I just follow the path. Like it almost felt like an invitation. And I guess like I just kept thinking like, but where would it take me? Like what is that? Like what would it come out of it? Like yes, it feels good. Like it feels light. It feels like so beautiful. But I don't know like if I can see the end. Like I just see like this big green space just inviting me in, but I don't see, I can't see anything else. That's all for now.
So I have a scene that I'm seeing in some messages here, and I just want to say I feel like also I'm out of breath tonight, and I wasn't out of breath earlier, so there's something here. I feel like it's a little bit hard to breathe, but uh, anyway, um, so I was seeing this scene, and then after I connected with it for a while, I actually think it's for you, Christine. Um, so I'm in the forest at night. And there's like a little clearing in the forest, and I'm sitting in the kind of off to the side of the clearing, and this spirit sat down. Um, for me, I would call her Pachamama or the grandmother, um, the Mother Earth. But she's showing herself to me as a grandmother, and we're sitting together, and I'm facing her, and she pulls out these leaves, and I'm I'm getting that maybe it might be coca leaves, because here in Peru they do coca readings. And so I was thinking they were coca leaves at first, but it could also be like a tea leaf of some sort. Um, but she did this reading with the coca leaves, and she placed down three piles. The first one has three leaves and are dark, dark green. The second pile has one dark green leaf and one silver. And the last one has four golden leaves. And the first pile, the three dark green leaves, I started to see the leaves begin to bleed like blood, but it's green. And sorry, my handwriting is a little bit all over the place. Um, okay, but she's saying that so first she's saying that she's giving a past, present, and future reading with the leaves. And the first one is the past, and it's the three green leaves that are bleeding. And she's saying that this represents some kind of betrayal by a female in the family. It could be this life or it could be an ancestor. The second pile represents the present. And again, I'm seeing one green leaf and one silver. And she's saying that the green of the past is still kind of here, but that the silver represents a silver lining. There's something here that an energy that can be worked with. And the last pile, the four golden leaves, represent the future. And she says it represents the fortune to come. And as I wrote this down, I heard Spirit say that there is a presence with you. And when I heard that, I saw a grandfather figure. And really, he has really soft eyes and a calm heart, is what he's saying. And as she was saying this all to me, a hawk came and landed on her right shoulder. Um, and the hawk's message is that the hawk is saying it's fierce and loving, and that it's watching over you. And it says, don't be afraid to speak your truth. And I feel like this has something to do with, I think you said that you were in school.
Yeah.
And I feel like this has something to do with like maybe a project you're working on or whatever career path you're taking. Like Spirit wants you to speak your truth and to not be afraid to do so, in whatever capacity that may come in.
Mm.
And as you do that, um, as you speak your truth, and I feel like it's writing somehow. I feel like it's something to do with writing, but
Mm.
as you step forward into this role, the hawk is reminding you that it's with you and it's here to protect you as you do that. Um, I'm going to sit with her for another minute or so and see if she has anything else to say. But that is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you for telling me.
I did send a present for Christine as soon as she came into the camera when I was looking at her. and I saw this woman, and I did feel like a grandmother figure to me, but she looks exactly like you, and she was dressed in yellow, like beautiful yellow. She was very delicate, um, but she was very quiet. And when I saw her yellow dress, it felt to me like abundance, like feminine energy, and just grace and delicate and all these things that are like feminine like energy. And when I saw you, I saw her right away. So I feel that she's always present and she's with you. Um, but I also feel like just as she looks, she's very protective of you. And I think that people who look at you and sometimes doesn't have the best intentions, they do feel that they cannot harm you, and they cannot get close to you to do things like that. And I think like that's her energy around you.
Mhm.
That's all for now.
Thank you.
I want to piggyback on the older lady. I sense her as well. And I also sense an older gentleman. So I don't know if this is a grandfather and grandmother that passed, or if this is a great grandmother and great grandfather, or even aunt and uncle. There's some sort of ancestral connection here. And she wants to talk about when he used to repair a car. He did something with a car, and I don't know if he worked on old cars, or his car was an old jalopy and he wouldn't get rid of it, something like that. And she wants to say that, and this is like a message for you, and how she's saying it is that when he would fix his car and he would try to get it to turn on correctly, it would like do that sort of thing. If you put the key in the car and it would kind of like spat to life a little bit, like it would take a minute to get going, like the engine would kind of kick in. And it was a real rough start if it started. And then after fiddling with it and working on it and listening to how it sounded as he was working on it, he was able to get the engine running and get it working on. But I can just hear him like turning it on, putting his foot on, and listening. So there's a message about listening here, and how he wouldn't say much when he was in the process of doing it. And he kind of, even, I feel like she used to kind of give him a hard time a little bit, or other people would, that he's never going to get that car started. It's not going to get anywhere. Um, and she's saying just like something that's going on, or something that you're working through, is like him trying to get the car started. And maybe it feels like it's not going somewhere, but you just have to hear and listen and understand that it will go somewhere, and the car is going to start, and suddenly you're just going to kind of like step on the gas and take off, is what she wants to say to me. It's gonna feel a little, it might feel a little sudden. And if there's people that are doubtful or not holding space for what you're trying to do, I think she's just saying you need to tune them out and listen to what you're doing, like feel it and listen into it. And there's a definite connection between feeling, listening, watching. Almost feels like an invitation to use your senses a little bit, somehow. Let me see. Anything else here? But I do get the sense that she's like kind of patting you on the back.
Mm.
I think she might have seemed a little distant to people, but she really wasn't that way at all. Um, well, that's it for now. Thank you. Okay, I know I said that was it, but it isn't. I'm suddenly seeing a very different scene with a car, and it feels like it's like a sort of country road. And on one side of it, there's a long strand of really tall, skinny trees that were probably planted. And it feels like it's either a long driveway that's an entrance to some sort of big country estate. I don't know if the person's coming or going into the country estate. That's what I'm not really sure of. And it's a sort of old vintage sort of sports car, and there's a man in it, and he has like kind of longish hair, maybe to his shoulders, blowing in the wind. Um, and it's night out, but he can see perfectly because of the light of the full moon. And he's just kind of driving along in this sort of convertible, really enjoying the wind. He has one of those like white sort of aviator scarves on that blows in the wind. He's just really enjoying this drive and the thing. And he's like, once a month, I can see perfectly at night to do this. And it feels like he really, for some reason, loves driving his car really fast at night. But when the moon's full, and I can just sort of feel the moon sort of low and heavy in the sky and really full, um and the rest of the month it's a bad idea. but when the moon's full it's okay to do is what he's saying. So I almost feel like he's saying I'd rather do it once a month and have this view and this light and this sort of experience than try to do it all the time and not be able to like fully feel it, is the message I think that he wants to impart. And he feels somehow maybe connected to the guy you were seeing earlier, Jacqueline, some different version of him, maybe later on after the stress like subsided, I feel is what he's saying. He feels a little older, so maybe he's in his very late 50s or early 60s. And like I kind of feel like he got a handle on my feeling is of not like internalizing his emotions, and I feel like he's drawing it my feelings to his like stomach region, and I think what he's saying is he used to hold on to all of his stress in his stomach. I feel like he wants to say something to us about holding on to stress in the body and like trusting that that's going to shift a little, but intentionally working for it to shift. Did you feel like he's saying something about the time of month with the moon too, outside of being able to see, connected with the stomach and stress and shifting things? Um, that's all for now.
I just wanted to say that it keeps like feeling uncomfortable in my body, and it's very it's weird because I feel like a lot of spiritual energy in my core and above my head as well. But it's almost like it's stuck, and I just feel like very um uncomfortable, and it's almost like something that wants to just come out. I just don't know how to make it come out. I don't know how to express it. I don't know what to do. Like I just feel uncomfortable. I feel like hot as well. Like it feels very hot, and um just trying to figure it out and see whether to see where it takes me. That's all for now.
How did you say that, Angela? I was drawn to your solar plexus, your stomach area, and I don't know why spirit is showing me colors bleeding tonight, but they are. But I was seeing your whole solar plexus area like really like bleeding yellow. It's just like this yellow. It's like if you took yellow paint and just like poured it out. Feels like something, feels like your life force is like spilling out of you somehow onto the floor. And I'm going to sit with that for another second, but um, something spirit told me that you can do to help that energy is to drink lemon water, a lot of lemon. I know that might be a little sour, but um, I'm going to sit with that for another second because I feel like there's more here with this bleeding yellow paint. Um, like this life force that's coming, kind of seeping away. I feel like I can see a man like putting his hands like around your throat and not like completely strangling you, but like I feel like he's like sucking your energy. And he's very aggressive. And as I say that, I actually see him like take his hands and put it down and he becomes very calm. Um, but I feel like spirit is saying like somehow you need to balance that energy. And this could be an actual person or it could be just the masculine within you because the solar plexus is the home of our masculine energy. And I'm seeing now as I say that like someone wringing out like a towel, like if you do laundry or something and you like the towel was wet and you like wring it out, but instead of water, I'm seeing this like yellow paint or yellow water or whatever. But it feels like there's too much masculine energy that you're holding right now. Like it's too like high strung or something. And I feel like spirit is telling you to like put your hands down and relax. And I feel like what's happening is that that paint or yellow water that's dripping down from your solar plexus. It's like dripping onto the other lower chakras, the sacral and the root, but specifically the sacral. And I feel like this like bleeding of color and energy is like not allowing your feminine to be feminine. Like I feel like it's being mixed with the masculine, but not in a good way. And it's getting like intertwined and the feminine's getting confused, and you just like need to balance that masculine like solar plexus energy. That's all for now.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, Jacqueline. I'm getting I kept seeing spicy yellow mustard. And I was almost feeling like, you know how if you go to like somewhere that sells like hot dogs or whatever, they have the big jugs that you can pump. I can almost see the mustard coming out of the pump and it's going on something. I'm not sure what that is. I just see the mustard coming out of the pump. And there's two things I'm getting with this. One is I keep hearing that song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, by me, Cracker Jacks and Peanuts, I think. I don't know. I can only hear that Take Me Out to the Ballpark game of that. And I feel like with that the energy of being like at a ballpark coming out, like the spicy mustard going on a hot dog. But I kind of get something about like spiciness. I'm not sure if the spiciness needs to go up or down. I don't know if it's too spicy or not spicy enough, but um yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure there. I don't know what this is about a baseball game, if you're planning on going to a baseball game or you like going to baseball games, or I don't know. Something about a baseball game. Um that's really all I'm getting, but I just had to share it. Thank you. Okay, the message filled out a little bit. I'm getting something about like the feeling of I think this is a real thing, but I'm not sure. But what Spirit's saying to me is like that eating something really hot and spicy can actually help you feel less hot and spicy. Um, it's almost like kind of like a hot sauce sort of feeling now, like the hot sauce in the bottles sort of feeling. Feeling like something to do with some spice will help move this energy out. And I don't know if it's literally consuming spice or it's adding some spice to your life. But yeah, that's what Spirit's saying.
It's interesting that you're saying about like the hot sauce and everything, and but it because this is how I feel. Like I feel like really hot. I just feel like very like um like my face is flush. Like I just feel really hot. I do feel like a lot of energy moving up and down. But I can find, I guess, a way, and you know, listening to what Jacqueline say, maybe like I'm thinking about like an action that I have to take, which is very masculine. Maybe I just need to be, I just need to like just sit down and feel hard and feel uncomfortable and see, like there's probably me trying like something to happen, but it's not about that. Like it's more about, I guess, like sitting down and just feeling the feeling. Um, yeah, that's all for now.
I want to share one last thing. Um, I'm definitely feeling very much back in my body. But the last thing that Spirit was showing me, and it's kind of piggybacking off this message for Christine here, and I feel like it's a message for you, but also for all of us, is I'm seeing again this grandmother in the forest, and she has this table, and she spreads like a whole deck of tarot cards out, and she's saying, it's funny because she said pick one, but then at the very beginning of the pile there was like a card that I felt like she kind of was starting to pick up, and I'm seeing it glowing like this white light underneath. And I said, okay, we'll start with that one. And it has the leaves on it again, the green leaves. And she asked you to like take the card and like put it up to your heart. And it's the card, the first one with like well, I'm seeing the green leaves, but I feel like it has four, even though the first one had three. So I don't know what that's about. But anyway, she's asking you to put it to your heart and kind of like let your heart like absorb that energy. Um, I feel like in like a healing way, but also like in an invigorating way, she's saying, kind of to like stimulate something. But she's saying what she's saying about the cards, and there's a lot of cards here. There's maybe like 100 cards or something, but she's saying that this the first card on in the deck with the white light, it symbolizes like the beginning of your journey, and that as you go along, different cards will unfold, and that's kind of her way of saying that she will be with you every step of the way. And once you are done with the energy of the one card, you can ask her for the next step and then the next card, and she'll be there to guide you. And again, I feel like this is not only like an overall feminine figure, but and an overall like grandmother figure, but I feel like this is like also like a literal like ancestor of yours, that's here to really guide you. Like her and the hawk are here with you for like every step of your journey. um yep, that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Unless anyone else has any other messages to share, I'm going to go ahead and close the circle. Thank you to all of the spirits, animals, and energy that stepped forward this evening to share messages, to provide guidance. We are eternally grateful and deeply thankful. Thank you for your wisdom, for the knowledge you shared, the guidance you provided, and the gifts you gave us. We ask for your continued guidance in the coming days and weeks as we work to integrate the messages delivered for further awareness and healing. Help us release any energy that is not of our highest and greatest good to carry as we shed what no longer serves us. May we continue to release the petals that no longer serve us so we can grow and blossom and bloom forward. We call on the sacred light of Source to replenish us with the eternal love of Source. May the great divine white light of love shine down into us and flow freely through us. May this love fill our days and inform all of our decisions. In this, we honor the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the great eternal cycle of balance and growth that is the flow of the universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With this, the sacred circle is now closed.